The woman has a thin rope tied around her ankle, but she does not dare to break free. The husband squats in front of her, checking carefully to see if the rope has been moved. Because the woman in front of him is the wife he paid for, he has kept her under house arrest for 20 years. Why didn't the woman dare to escape? Her husband often abuses her. If she disobeys him a little, the man will bring a bucket of salt water. The soap towel will be very strong. He brushes off the water and wraps the towel around his hand to hit the woman one by one. Over time, the woman would no longer dare to resist. A small and thin rope can control her, but the woman still finds a chance to resist. She slowly lifts her skirt to show the scars to the man outside the door. To ask him for a packet of ecstasy, she slips it into a glass of water at dinner. When her husband isn't looking, her husband drinks it and sleeps through the night. The woman wakes up her daughter and tries to escape with her, but to her surprise, her daughter is on her father's side. After understanding her mother's intention, she immediately runs to tell her father. Seeing him asleep, she shakes him frantically, but to no avail. The daughter has to go to grab the mother's key. Then she throws it away and blocks the door with her own body, not to let her mother out. The woman is desperate at that moment. She begs her daughter to let her go. However, the daughter raises the bottle and threatens her. At that moment, the husband wakes up. Seeing his wife trying to escape is furious. He brings salt water and towels to beat the woman again. The wife is trembling with fear. Obviously, she has been subjected to this brutal violence many times before, but the man has no intention of letting her go. Sadly, the daughter not only does not sympathize with her mother, but she also worships her father, who is a majestic man because her father used to take her to football games. The girl sits on the back of her father's motorcycle, always hugging him whenever the father and daughter go out. The woman is locked in the house. Her arms are covered with scars from her husband. The woman chopped the meat in anger and numbness. There is still a little bit of resentment left in her heart. After watching the game, the father and daughter return home. Wang, who looks after the warehouse next door, asks the man why he has never seen his wife, but he could hear the sound of women crying. The man warns Wang to stay out of the way, but the daughter overhears the conversation between them. She tells her father a lie, that the day her mother ran away, it was Wang who met her outside. The father becomes more convinced that there must be something between them, but this time, he doesn't take action directly. Instead, he has a revenge plan in mind. The girl kneels in front of her mother to rip off the thin rope on her mother's foot. This is the girl's reward for her mother. Because she thinks her mother is obedient, she doesn't run away even if her father isn't there. But the husband suspects that his wife is having an affair with Wang next door. At night, he asks Wang to go with him to the countryside to take over the leather business. Wang does not want to go, but the man is his own boss, so he can only reluctantly agree. The man takes Wang on his bike to a very remote place. Waiting for a long time and seeing no one comes, Wang turned around and went to the woods to pee. After that, his boss is gone. Wang looks around and sees the boss's wife tied to a tree. Before he can figure out what was going on, he is attacked from behind by the boss and knocked out with a stick. The man's next step is to kill his wife, but Wang is not a weak fighter. When he wakes up, he slashes the boss's neck from behind with a glass block. Then he unties the woman, cleans up the scene, and buries the boss. The next day, the daughter asks her mother where her father has gone. The woman says he went out last night and did not return. The daughter does not believe that and asks Wang. Wang also says the same thing, but the daughter notices that the door that is usually locked is left open. She thinks there must be something fishy. She immediately goes out to look for his father, but how could she find him? The girl is very sad, seeing that her daughter is in a bad mood. On her birthday, the mother makes her a cake. Wang also comes to visit and gives the girl a puppy as a gift, but the daughter does not appreciate it at all. She still does not give them a good face. What's worse, the girl is even about to put the puppy in the pot and stew it, but she is interrupted by her mother, who comes to the kitchen to drink water. The woman hears the dog barking and finds the puppy. She knows it must be her daughter who has done it. The next day, the woman returns the puppy to the Wang. Because of her daughter's cold attitude, the woman suspects that her daughter has already known the truth. She tells Wang about her suspicions. Unexpectedly, her daughter overhears the conversation inside the house. She immediately knows that they have killed her father. She decides to avenge her father's death. Outside the door of the house, the girl sees her mother and another man embracing each other. The girl is instantly angry, but she just holds it back. The daughter tears the bed sheet into strips of cloth while her mother is asleep. Then she comes to her mother's bed and quietly puts the cloth over her mother's body. Then she goes around to the bottom of the bed and ties a dead end. From the beginning to the end, it is silent. When the mother wakes up, she finds herself firmly tied to the bed. She tries to break free, but to no avail. Her mouth is sealed, and she could not make any sound. At that moment, Wang comes to the door and finds no answer, but the door is not locked. So he goes straight in. Wang comes to the woman's bedroom. The next second, he is knocked unconscious by the girl with a stick. Then the girl hits his head again and again, until Wang is dead. The girl is indifferent throughout the murder. Then the man's body is dragged to the pig pen and thrown in. And then the girl douses the body with the pig's special favorite feed. This is so ruthless. After dealing with Wang, the girl calmly goes back to the room. The next step is to punish the mother. She brings a bucket of salt water, just like her father before he died, takes out a wet towel, dries it and wraps one end around her hand. The woman instantly understands what she is going to do, trembling with fear, but she has nowhere to go but to cry helplessly. The sound of each blow is particularly loud, accompanied by the woman's whimpers of pain and despair. The girl repeats her father's words as she whips, blaming the woman for disobedience. I don't know how long the beating lasts. The woman's body is covered with bright red marks. At this point, she only has the last breath left when the daughter gets water for her mother to drink. The mother is already dead. Only then does the daughter realize what she has done. She cries out in pain. In a trance, she sees her father, but it is only her fantasy. The girl goes into the bathroom and grabs a razor. When she comes out again, she has changed her hairstyle, which is the same as her father's. Afterwards, the girl takes a chair out and sits by the door. At that moment, she feels like she's her father. She inherits her father's image, character, and mental will. This is the end of the film. See you in the next video.